Okay guys, like I was saying, this is the main electric room. This is the main lighting control panel. I talked to a couple of the guys yesterday. What I've done is installed a permanent panel schedule on here that you guys can't remove. And I'm going to be emailing those to Jose and Alfredo. Not only the lighting control panel schedules, but I'm going to be emailing you all the panel schedules for the whole project. So that if for any reason, you know how it is. Sometimes somebody takes one out because they need to check something. Next thing you know, you're back in the room, there's no panel schedule. And then the other purpose for giving you those or emailing you those electronically is so that if you add or change things in the future, you can just alter them and then have a nice, neatly printed panel schedule in your panels that you guys can maintain. Okay, so here's the main lighting control panel, and like I said, this controls the west half of the building, concourse and ground level. They call this down here concourse, and the southeast parking lot. One of the nice things about these LC&D is that you'll notice down here there's a sticker that says project number, and there's a lighting control and design sticker here that gives you their 1-800 number. The reason those two things are important is because this control panel is connected to a permanent phone line. And let's say the guys on the night shift come in and they're told, hey, the lights on the ground level, the pole lights on the ground level aren't working. You simply come up to the panel, find ground level pole lights on the schedule, open the door, and inside here you have the low voltage relays and the main panel here. So for example, these little blue buttons here, yeah, these are relay numbers. Okay, so these blue relay numbers correspond with the relay numbers here on the schedule. And I've also put in a column here that shows the actual control type that I've set you up with for each relay number. Okay. So these relays are normally closed relays in the de-energized position. So if there were ever let's say somebody accidentally turns off your circuit, go ahead and open up ELV2, Fred. Let's say somebody turns off the circuit that feeds this panel. What will happen is all relays will fail to the closed position. So when you have a failure here, what happens is your lights stay on. So that's one of the nice things about LC&D is that it's completely opposite of what the older technology is. When there's a failure, the lights aren't working. When you have a failure here, they're going to be on all the time. So you're going to have exterior lights as a good example that are on during the day when they shouldn't be. That lets you know there's a problem. Back to this project reference number and this 1-800 number. When you buy the LC&D product, you've bought lifetime programming for free. So I'm not kidding. You can come in here day or night. They have 24-hour assistance. The only thing is that from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., they will actually dial into your system and make any changes you want them to make on a per relay basis. But after 6 p.m. to 8 a.m., they will walk you through manually, because you're going to be dealing with somebody on the East Coast. They can't dial in, but they will literally tell you, okay, go into the programming mode, press, they'll walk you through each button to press one at a time. They're going to ask you what the display says, and they will literally walk you through step by step on whichever relays it is that you're wanting to change. So again, you'll notice right now, some of these, everything with a green light on it is on.
right now, and all the other relays, all the other blue squares with no green lights are what I have programmed to be off during the day via the photocell. So if I was to push all these, you know, I'm going to be turning on all the exterior lights everywhere. So it's just as simple as turning those back off. Right here we have a Chelsea override switch. It's got 4 buttons that'll control up to 4 relays. I went ahead and programmed the 4 relays for this level to show you guys what you can decide, to show you guys what you can turn off at a later date if you decide to change. I guess the point I'm trying to make is all the lights on this level I have programmed to run 24 hours, 7 days a week, okay? But you do have the ability to turn a percentage of these lights on this level off based on the amount of light coming down through the openings. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hit all off for a second. Actually, let me go back all on. Now if you guys look outside the door there, I'm going to hit all off, and it's going to show you everything that we can turn off on this southwest half from this button. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a scenario of, let's say you guys wanted to save some energy, and once you're moved in and you guys are comfortable and you decide that you want 50% of these lights off during the day, I can show you what 50% of the lights would look like right now. But again, remember that I have those programmed to run 24 hours, 7 days a week, because it is a transportation facility. I didn't want to make the decision to, you're going to see when you're out there. So this is, okay, so that's your interior platform. That's one circuit that you can turn off on your interior platform during the day. I'll turn that back off again so you can see it. That's one circuit, so that's back on. The next circuit is also interior platform. So I'm going to turn that off again so you can see. Okay. The lower 2 buttons are your drive aisles. You have a relay for your emergency lights, and you have a relay for your normal power lights. Right there, that should be your emergency lighting. That's what you would have if, in the drive aisle, that's what you would have if there was a loss of utility power. That's how much lighting you would have to get out of the building in the drive aisles. And then this is your normal lighting in the drive aisles. But again, once we go out there and look around a little bit, I think you guys will agree that the way I have it set up right now for them all to be on is probably the way it should be. The only interior lights on this level that I have scheduled to turn off by the photocell are the bus bay numbers and the map case, the information map cases. Those all have light fixtures inside of them, and because of all the overhead lighting that we have above the map cases and on this entire floor, I went ahead and decided to turn those off via the photocell. Go ahead and turn those on so I can show those to them, Fred. The bus bay numbers. So if you guys notice, look out here, you got your all those numbers. Okay, see? So he just turned on the bus bay numbers on this half and the map case. Go ahead and turn them back off, Fred. So those will come on automatically at night as soon as the photocell, and I'm going to take you upstairs and show you where that's located. As soon as that sees the required light level to turn everything on, it's all just going to come on, okay? All right.
But it depends on carrier too.
Mine is Sprint. Do you guys guys want me to have Freddie dial LC&D up real quick and put him on speaker and have him make one change in front of you guys just so you can see and get a level of confidence and see how easy it is?
Yeah.
Would you mind doing that, Freddie? Go ahead and give him a call, and let's, just for fun, let's have him get him on the phone, and then I'll tell you what to have him do. So guys, remember when you call to make a program change, you're going to call this 1-800 number. He's going to ask you for your project number, which is here. Once you give him those two things, he's already going to know what phone number to dial in. And at his end, he already has this. He's looking at the same thing you're looking at. So you could tell him relay number 1 currently is controlled by the photo cell. We want to change that from, 5 p.m. to 12 a.m., whatever it is. And he can change that, and what will happen is this display will light up and you'll see him doing it for you while you're watching. And again, when you buy the system, you have lifetime free programming. You're not going to get a bill. Only problem is, sometimes you get right in. Sometimes you got to wait 20, 30 minutes. So let's see if we can get lucky.
They ask any security questions? Did they ask any security questions?
No.
So anybody can come in, dial the numbers, say I want the stairs lights to turn off.
Yeah.
I say, okay.
Yeah. Technically. Well, see, they're not going to know. They're not going to know what I told you, though. That's the thing. No one's going to know.
I don't know how long it's going to take.
All right, so we'll just wait a few minutes. I want to get you guys' level of confidence up. Lights on the southwest lot, those are 480 volt. For whatever reason, those lights are 480. The lights on your southeast lot and northeast lot are 277. So because of that, I got one 480 circuit going out there to that lot, and I've got a contactor up here inside this gutter. So this lighting control panel is controlling the coil of that contactor for that 480 circuit going out. All right, that's the only difference between those. They look the same. They look like the same lights as you have everywhere, but they're not.
So where the
There's up there, and they parallel into this switchboard. They go through these two breakers into this main. They leave this main through the bus duct up into the top of the ATS switch, and then so that's your emergency system right there to the left of me. From here over, actually from here over, this is all normal power. These loads right here are these are emergency loads that are fed through the ATS switch with normal power during normal operation. But when normal power is lost, generators fire up, ATS transfers and keeps this board hot on the generator. So this is an emergency switchboard that's running off normal power during normal business. During a power outage, it then is fed off the generators, okay? This switchboard controls elevator 3, which is the elevator on the west side. Controls panel EH2, which is right there, which is your emergency lighting on both levels. It controls your wastewater pump and your stormwater pump, which I'll point out to you as we're walking out. They're on the south wall, those two ejector controllers. It controls the two VFDs, which are those two big white guys for the two large exhaust fans. So during an emergency, those are going to run. It controls panel EH1, which is in the retail building. I'll show you the other side of that. I owe you a label here. And then you have two spare breakers, and there's two empty 4-inch conduits that go from here to the other side of the building. I'll show you where the other end of those are. Over here, normal power, you have panel LP2, which is your lighting panel that we were talking about. You have a spare breaker, panel PP2, which is right behind us. That panel, all it feeds is that transformer, and that transformer feeds that panel, and that panel feeds that stainless steel bathroom in the center of the building, and that panel also feeds your generator engine block heaters, your generator battery chargers, your service receptacle in the generator area, and that's about all that panel does. Oh, and the plugs on the column down on this level. Not a whole lot of circuits leaving that panel.
The plug on the column?
Yeah, there's some receptacles on the columns on this level, and that does feed them. There's 2 circuits, circuits 2 and 4. This stuff back here in this back corner, guys, this is this entire system in the corner is your photovoltaic system, which is your solar panels. You guys will be getting training on that, but it won't be by me because a different company did that. That's not on yet. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm just telling you, this whole corner is solar panel equipment. This here is this is a portable load bank. It's on wheels. It's not installed. I just have it pushed in the corner right now. This is something that, as a part of the contract, we had to buy this so you guys can do your load bank testing of your 2 generators. And that tan enclosure back there is where you plug this load bank into and load bank your generators. So I don't know exactly where to leave this. I thought in the room should be good, so once I get my table out, what I'll do is I'll push it into the center of the room because it is on wheels, but I don't know where else to put it. So that's that. Wow, he's holding for a long time.
Just forget about it.
Okay, okay. All right, well, just come with us, Freddie, and then stay on hold, and we'll do it at the other panel or something, maybe. Those are Caltrans, owned and operated. You'll notice he's got a couple bad photocells and some heads. When they dug the road down, we just refed the lights and put them back up, and you know, if you guys want to get those corrected, you can call Caltrans. But just know that those lights are not, they're not part of the facility. Those are fed from the pole all the way down on that east side over there. So those are Caltrans owned and operated. There's 4 of them, yeah.
So it's okay.
Okay, so, all right guys, so the reason I brought you up here is to show you that center pole there, on the very top of that pole, you'll notice there's a little gray object. That's your exterior photocell. I'm talking about the pole right here on this side, the double head one right there. I don't know how good you guys' eyesight is, but if you look on top of that, you're going to see something there that's not on this one. That's your photocell. That's a low voltage photocell.
Oh, that little pin.
That's it, right in the
On the center of the pin.
It's on top of the pole. Dead center, yeah. Okay, so that cable's back down to that panel down in the main electric room.
Now, so that, yeah, and you say those photo eyes go bad.
If that goes bad, it's going to force your lights on.
It's going to go on.
All your lights on this level will be on. What will be on is all these poles, the numbers on the bus bay signs, and your information map cases will be on. And then these light fixtures on the side of these canopies will also be on.
You have a bypass for that?
No.
That's the testing.
You know what? Yeah, what you do is you open up the box and do a resistance measurement on the photocell, and it'll tell you whether it's good or not. Once you dial in the number, you ask them what resistance value is it supposed to have. You just put your ohm meter on it, and it'd be like you're testing anything. If it's 0 resistance, you got an open photocell.
There's no hand auto, there's no bypass.
There is a handoff auto control switch in the panel, just like you have in your building. Right now we're in auto. Should you have a situation like that, you could just toggle that over to hand, force everything on.
In that panel you were in?
Yeah, it's in every panel. All the panels I'm going to show you, they all individually have their own handoff
So
auto.
like a thumb side on top of
Yeah, it's a little gray thing. That's it. Little. It's about that big. Yep. Okay, come this way. Yeah.
The decoration on top.
You see that? Yeah, I saw that. Advertisement.
Well, first I was going to say, what is it?
You know how you guys put all the advertisement on the side of the bus?
Right.
So, again, not that bridge, but the next bridge over is where the circuits from that electrical room end, both on the south and north half. The reason I brought you here is because I'm going to take you back down and show you where your interior photocell is. Now that interior photocell can be utilized to control a percentage of your lighting downstairs, like I was trying to show you earlier, but I felt that all the lights down there need to be on during the day because it's a big area, and I don't think that turning those lights on and off is a good idea. It just seems like they should be on. Photocells terminate. I want to make sure you see that. I forgot to mention that when we were in the room, but this here is the indoor photocell that was designed in the drawings, but again, I don't think we should be turning any of the lighting on this level off during the day. As you can see right now, there's some shadowing happening back there. These LED lights here, they all have remote drivers. And because this ceiling's not really your typical accessible ceiling, what we did is we installed all the drivers on the end here. So those are those silver boxes. So if that light went out, what you need to do is get up here and open up that driver, check your incoming power, 277 volt, and then check your output. So I made sure the drivers were all accessible. So in the bridges, they're all on the ends like this. On the sides over here on these angled ceilings, the driver for this light is right there at the end so that it could be reached from the end here. If you look through the ceiling, you'll see that rectangular box. That's the driver for the fixture. You don't have any high voltage power in that light. The power goes into the driver, 277 volts, and then out of the driver to the light fixture and the little gray cable. So if you need to get up there, what we did is we located everything right there at the end so that you can get to it with your hands without taking the ceiling apart. Same thing with these LED lights here. Those have a remote driver. And again, if you get up there, you'll see the light fixture. It's adjustable, and the driver's right there to the side. The only difference on those is the power doesn't go direct to the driver. It goes into a box, and then from the box we feed the driver with a cord. That's the only difference between those lights and those, is the driver housing on those, we're using it as a junction box. Okay? And it's the same thing all the way down. Everything's done exactly the same. So this driver's right there. You know that when you get up there to look at that one, the driver's going to be in the exact same spot. So everything is right there at the end where you can reach it. All right, let's head this way. These fixtures here in the drive aisles, they have integral drivers. There's no remote drivers for those. The driver's built into the fixture. So you have 277 volts in the box above, and the voltage is being reduced down and transformed inside the light. That's the only difference. All your lighting in this ceiling area here is all remote driver. These are all integral drivers, and so are your pole lights. There's no hidden box anywhere that you got to look for these. You just got to check if you got power going in the light. All right. The bench seat lighting, that's the only thing. Well, the bench seat lighting, these numbers on the bus bays and the map cases are the only things on this floor that I have turning off with the photo cell. So those will automatically come on at night, so will the numbers and so will the map cases. All right, so just a reminder from right here where I stand, that way, now we're dealing with on this north end, we're dealing with that electric room and the transit building for both levels. That side, both levels, we're dealing with the electric room and the retail building, okay? Just remember the bathroom this is the center of the building. It's always good to just remember where the bathrooms are to the west. This is the dead center of this floor right here. If you measure from here to that wall and measure from here to that wall, same distance, okay?
But the bathrooms are over there.
The bathrooms are fed out of that panel I showed you, yeah.
Why is not inside from here? This is concrete?
Really, dividing north and south is going to be this ceiling here. This ceiling here, well, actually the middle of the bridge, as far as the bridge is concerned. So like if you were to see these two lights out on the south, you know it's from that electrical room up there. So if we're talking about the open area, then it's from here that way, but when it's a bridge, it's from the middle that way. Okay?
We have spares for these?
Right now, no. There's no attic stock that's been provided for the fixture package. But if it's something that you guys feel you need, I can put you in contact. Well, really, you'll end up going through KPRS requesting certain things if you need it. But I'm going to have my PM mail you that list of fixtures that you asked for. So, maybe you could talk to him about that. But no, we only had the exact amount of fixtures. 0 extras. These things are high dollar.
What's that got to do with them going out? Nothing.
There's a list of attic stock that we're supposed to provide per the contract, and what that is 2 of each fuse size that you have in this facility. And then if there's more than 10, no, wait a minute. At least 1 of each fuse, and any fuses that we have more than 10 of, we got to provide you 2 each. So I'll be getting that box of fuses together for you, and KPRS will get it to you. All right? Okay, the reason I stopped here was purposely to point something out to you guys. Notice how there's an open sky here. I want to show you how we got the circuits from that building across, both behind me and on that side. All of those conduits in that corner and those pull boxes, those all go up to the electrical room in the retail building. And I ran them underground this way over to here. So that's how we're getting all the power out there where it belongs. You'll notice that we have a low voltage pull box. This low voltage pull box, you got 4 empty conduits in it that go from here to the other side for later if you got to get something across. The center box is normal power. The one on the right is emergency power. and we've got it labeled, and if you open it up you'll see all the circuit numbers are labeled. You'll have as-builts. Over there's a mirror image, exactly the same thing that we did right behind me. Okay, so that's how they get across if you ever got to look at something. This one here, somebody labeled the panel and the circuit number on the outside. That was a mistake. Any disconnect, if you open the door, you got the panel and the circuit numbers written down inside of it for you, okay? There's one or two where they accidentally wrote it on the outside like that, but try to make it easy on you. If you ever walk up on a situation where you don't have power, just open the disconnect. It's going to tell you panel and circuit numbers, okay? I'll get some labels on these for you, but what we have is we have an emergency power pole box. These are the underground conduits that go all the way to the main electrical room. And then this is the normal power pull box, again goes all the way to that electric room, and then the conduits go overhead up into the various electric rooms on this side of the building. So this we do have splices in here. Do you have a way to open this up? We'll open one up just to show you your feeders and the splicing that we do have in these boxes. I got to add a couple screws here and put some labels on that for you. And then this one here is your low voltage signal pull box. All your low voltage system cabling comes to here, goes from here to the IT rooms. You guys are going to get training on cameras and all this other good stuff. Well, I don't know if it's going to be your group, but anyway, the point I'm trying to make is all your low voltage is in this one. That's all your high voltage cabling from the main electric room to here, and then you have some circuits that go from this electric room down. These smaller ones are your escalators. These are your 4 escalator feeds, and these bigger ones are your switchboard upstairs I'm about to show you, panel H1, and a couple other normal power panels that we have upstairs. You have a spare 4-inch from here upstairs to the switchgear I'm going to take you to next. And then you have in the emergency power pull box you have 2 spare 4-inch from this box all the way to that other electrical room. Alright, go ahead and close that up. The door for me, guys, sorry. Man, it's stuck in there, hold on. The little room. Okay, here's your lighting control panel for this building. You can see the room's tiny. Engineer designed them to be above the panels above the panels where we're controlling the lights from. There just wasn't any more room to put them anywhere in here. So same as down below. You got your panel schedule right there. This is the handoff auto that we talked about upstairs. So right now, as you can see, we're in the auto. If I force that to hand, the relays that are programmed to be on during the day are forced to hand. The ones that aren't programmed to be on, you would still have to push buttons to turn various relays on and off. Okay, so if they're
not programmed,
they're not programmed,
gonna go anyway.
They will not go anyway. The handoff auto it's still going to be looking for the sequence of control that you have it programmed to. So if it's daytime and you put it in hand, only the loads that are supposed to be on during the day are going to go on. One of the other things that I may have forgot to mention is that if I push relay 5 or any relay on during the day that's currently off, it'll stay on today, but once the photocell goes through a cycle and does the dusk till dawn thing, tomorrow that relay will no longer be on manually. It'll only stay on for that day and that cycle of the photocell. So that's really it for this one. And again, this panel controls the south half of the facility on both levels. Out here in the corridor.
You have the controller, right?
Huh?
They cannot do.
This, all the programming for even this panel and the next one I'm going to take to you is done at the main.
Oh, way over there.
Yeah.
In the corner?
Yeah, so you would have to.
Let it know that this.
Yeah, you would have to stand here and say, okay, at LCP1, I need relays 1, 3, 5, or whatever the numbers are to be, you know, whatever your method of control that you're going to change it to. You'll have to write it down and go over there and do it from there.
Or you could put another label over there, right, for all of them?
That can be done too.
Yeah, just by messing them all there.
You want me to, I don't mind doing that. The only problem is, yeah, no, that's actually a good idea.
It will be a good idea because you can have this panel and
Yeah.
this panel on the
Just gotta
same
make sure
thing.
you don't get confused, though, you know, as far as.
That's just it. Maybe while we're all standing here,
Somebody get.
There's a label also if
You
you
can
want.
color, you can color them, you know, you can color from the yellow over there.
Okay, if you don't have this panel that you have to memorize, you have to write down and go over there and call it out, or you can call it from here without looking at the
you
front.
can, well, if, well, here's the thing.
Right?
No, you're right. If you're calling him, you could call him from right here.
Right, because you don't have to be in the...
That's correct.
Whatever he does over there, that's his deal.
That's from, but that's from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You got to remember that. From 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
You're gonna have to manually.
You're gonna have to manually. He's gonna walk you through manually,
And it's still gonna be over there.
and that would be when you would have to be over there.
We have a card that referred to there, so we just put it in there. We're
Okay, so out here, and you got a override switch for this building. Real quick, I'm just gonna hit all off. What that does is it turns off your normal power lighting in this corridor and these rooms only, but the emergency light does not get turned off. Okay, so if you want it all off, again, all these rooms, the normal power lights in this hallway, and then all the exterior can lights will turn off from here. So let's see, the first button is the corridor and the room lights. The second button, I believe, is the can lights outside on the soffit. You have normal power and emergency power out there on the soffit. So if I do all on, wait a minute. I should go out there and, well, those can lights are controlled by the photocell, so they, even though I just did an all on, they should still be, let's see, they on? Okay, so if you come out here and walk this exterior ceiling,
Who's going to have access to that corridor?
whoever's controlling, I don't know, I can't answer that question. I'll be gone.
As I can tell, that is a switch. Anybody go, oh,
Yeah.
I'm out of here, all off. They're going to go, oh, we don't have light here. It's going to be a freaking switch that somebody turned all off.
If, yeah, you know, if
That's
that,
going to happen. Like,
Right, yeah.
Guaranteed.
and again, what'll happen is,
They have to mess with it.
yeah, and again, what'll happen is if somebody hits that all off,
Yeah.
it'll be off for that day's cycle of the photocell.
Right.
So tomorrow everything will come back to normal, but the same guy may walk by and turn those off. So if you guys do determine that you don't like the control scheme on that button, you can just like you're controlling the relays, you call them up, tell them Chelsea switch, retail building, just like you do the relays, same thing.
Well, the other thing is, if you're going to, like you say, put a box like cover where they know that they don't have to mess with it.
There you go. That'll resolve. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that button can control up to 4 relays. Okay? If you want to change it, you could make that button, those buttons, turn lights on and off out in the terminal. You know, you just got to call them and say, you know what, this switch in this building, I want it to control relay number 1 through 4 and any of the 3 panels, and it'll do that for you.
That switch is going to control perimeter lights.
Controls the exterior perimeter lights, just in the ceiling, not the stuff out there. The stuff out there is on photocell.
Where the photocell is for the bench seat.
and the pole lights,
Pole lights.
and the parking lot lights.
Is there override for those also?
No. Well, you could override on each relay.
On each relay?
Yeah, in the
'Cause I
panel.
was looking on the ledger. I didn't see bench seats in.
Yeah, it's on there.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah. Now this panel here controls just this half. The panel in that building controls those benches and those poles. So let's go show them the last panel. Walk in this doorway here, you got another Chelsea override switch. So what I did is I hit all off for you, okay? So all off means all off in this building except the emergency lights. All on, back on.
An emergency light in here?
There is, but actually I think he does have the emergency lights programmed in there. I could probably take that off of that. I should take that off.
That should be off there, yeah.
We'll get that off of there. Yeah, we'll get that off of there today. So let's see here. If I'm not mistaken, okay, this is your E lighting right here. So we got to. I don't know if my guy's standing there. Oh, we got to take the E lighting in the corridor back off the switch. Yeah. What it was, guys, is there's 4 switches that are optional controls, and I wanted to give you all 4. I wanted to program 4 relays that relate to the area that this switch is in.
Right.
And overlook the fact that we're going to have to take one off. So you're going to have a switch here that's not controlling anything in here, because I didn't want to program this switch to control anything out in the terminal, because somebody's going to be hitting it and then it's going to be turning something out there off. Yeah.
We'll be chasing it, not knowing it.
Yeah, exactly. So the motion sensors in this corridor, this is actually a security sensor. This here is a motion sensor. You got 2 sensors in this hallway. One's for normal power, one's for emergency power. What those are going to do is just turn off 1 light per emergency and normal power circuit when nobody's moving in the hallway. Those are not part of the lighting control system. They're separate. So this is just a switch. If you pull that down, you got a hot and a switch leg leaving out to a light next to it. They're not part of the lighting control system. It's just so that when people aren't moving around in here, it's going to turn a couple lights off, basically. But only 1 per sensor. Okay, unlock the door for me, Fred.
If that goes bad, will that turn the...
No, those aren't fail-safe. If the light, Freddie, which light does that sensor control again?
The far one over there. The one right past the exit.
So the one that's off now.
Yeah.
Is the switch off?
Let's see.
Probably. Yeah, you turn it off.
Okay, so when you turn the switch on, it's initializing. So when we come back out, we'll show you that.
More than 3, right?
No, it's gonna be because it's gonna be referred to him. That's why.
Is this mirror image of the other side? More or less?
More or less, yeah. Exact same thing. The only thing is this building's a little bit different, but yeah, another small electrical room. You see that we've got what appears to be some room back there, but it's an angled wall. We really couldn't do nothing with it. So the engineer had us mount the control panel above the panel that the circuits are coming from. And basically, yeah, same thing that we've already gone over in the other areas. We're going to be making one change to this schedule today. When we went through and checked everything out, we noticed I left one off. So I'll be changing this after we're all done here today, but exact same thing we looked at next door. You got the handoff auto. Right now we're in the auto. The relays that are lit now are the loads that are supposed to be on now. The ones that are off now are all controlled by photocell, as I show here on the control type columns. And again, it's not like there's a photocell for this panel and a photocell for that panel. That photocell I showed you on that light pole, it does them all. And that interior photocell down below that I showed you, right now it's hooked up, but it's not programmed to do anything. Because I told you I didn't want to turn those lights off downstairs. So those of you that want to see where the photocells hook up downstairs, we'll take you down there and show you that. And then
interior photocell too. In here.
you're right. In this building, I apologize. In this building in the front, we'll walk out there and show you. You do have an interior photocell that is going to turn off one row of lights out there based on the amount of ambient light level coming through the glass windows. And we'll take you out there and show you that. Okay, this little box here, remember how down in the main electric room I was telling you guys that there's a divider in there for your emergency circuits? This is how we got the emergency circuits into that corner. So we're piped over here to this emergency panel right behind this gentleman. And the emergency lights that are controlled with the lighting control panel are going into the panel from right here. And then the emergency circuits that we're controlling through this panel, they go down to the garage, go down these pipes here, down into the garage. And then they make their way across that open area like I was showing you guys.
Troy, what's up with the brake bug? What's that?
What's that? This here is the uninterrupted power supply UPS unit for all the computer loads. So any of the orange outlets in this building are backed up and fed from this UPS panel behind us here. So remember, if you're at an orange plug and you're troubleshooting, it's fed from the UPS, and the UPS panel's right here behind us. So you, like I said, wherever orange outlets are, so if they're not orange, they're not on the UPS. Okay. Okay, we're going to come out here to the front. Okay, this here is up here in the ceiling, guys. This is your indoor photocell. All that's controlling is this row of lights that's moving. So, like I said, during the day, those lights just automatically turn themselves off. As soon as it gets dark, that row of lighting will turn back on. Freddie, can you show them the wall switch there and what it's controlling real quick?
Hey Tom, this is going to attach your lamp to up on the ladder, 12-foot ladder.
Now these lights, guys, you notice how they're just moving around? What they had us do is they had us pull a couple of them up to different heights to see if those vents would stop making them move, and they don't. So they're going to have us lower them back down and then run some aircraft cable and strap it to the wall so that,
Why don't you just let them move, man?
you know, that sounds good to me.
I mean, they look like wings anyway.
Helicopters, yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the air's blowing right on them. I don't, you know, what do you do?
Once they're on, wouldn't it be distracting with the people down here?
It might be, yeah.
Distracted because it's moving?
Yeah, it might be.
Mr. Garcia, I have a safety question. When you have to go on a ladder over 8 feet, and you need a safety cable to attach a ladder to,
Just went to go check if the photocell one was on, because that way they could see these on too.
What about all the lights in here? Are these?
No, I just got to on switches. I didn't do it because I'm busy.
I said anything
I
but
went to go check
ladder,
Circle Center 2022. I wanted to go check that it was on, but it was on. So I just got
All right, so the only lighting controlled circuits out here in this front area are this row of lights. All these can lights here are just controlled by three-way switches where he's standing. Go ahead and just turn everything on. Okay, so you got a bank of switches here for all those lights, and then you have the same bank of switches over there. So they're three-way switches, so if you're going either coming in on this side or going out on that side, depending on, you know how three-ways are, sometimes it's going to seem like one switch is in upside down, but you got three-way switching for all these lights here. But again, He forced that on. He went into the control panel and forced those lights on for you, but if he... They are also controlled by the switch, but if the switch is left on, that photo cell is going to turn it off. And that's it, guys.
You have to change them, are they, is there, everything's integrated into the fixture?
Actually, those lenses pull right off. There's just a clip that snaps around the metal housing, and those are actually fluorescent lamps. These lights up here are LED, the can lights. So,
120?
are these ones 120? These lights? No, this is all 277 volt. Yeah, yeah. The lamp's kind of funny looking, but when it's turned on, it looks pretty good.
And same deal with
No
those,
spare
when they
those
go
either,
back,
right?
change the whole fixture?
On these, you have just like a regular fluorescent, or just like a regular can light, you have a ballast mounted on the box, just like you would on a fluorescent, and then there's a pre-wired cable leaving that to the actual head.
Do we have any spares on those? Any boxes?
On these, no, as of right now,
You
no.
know, like you say, we can't wait till those go out and then go to order them and they 2 weeks out.
Yeah, well, that'll be something that that'll have to be discussed with KPRS, and if there's a certain percentage of each type or whatever that we need to provide, with just have to put your...
These fixtures they're fairly new to the building, but these fixtures might be 5 years old, and the manufacturer or the distributor is in China, Guyana.
Yeah, no, I hear you. No. Yeah, like I said, any requests like that, just share them with KPRS, and it'll go through the proper channels, and everything that needs to happen will happen.
That's scary part. Proper channel.
Well, I mean, I hear you, but I mean, I can't. I could certainly talk to him about it. Jose, talk to Nathan about that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. That's what all TVs stand.
That's the problem with LED, yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about the LED stuff, because it's not like you can just roll up and put a lamp in it,
Oh, no.
You got to go, okay, yeah, it is out now. I got to order that, and I